and in fact, consistent with the town character, and will cause no adverse impacts, etc., it's illegal, in my opinion, to deny that person that kind of a project on the ground that it is inconsistent with a provision of the plan that has illegally not been updated and amended for 15 years. What you do is you turn the power of development, of government, of decision-making over to anybody that wants to drag their feet for 15 years. And I was sitting around comfortably, I might say, and I really enjoyed the last discussion about somebody wanting something done for 2 years. And I thought, shut up and sit down, you know, till you've had at least 13 more years. Without 13 years in the dock, you got nothing to complain about. So here we've had these tables that for all of these years have been reviewed and reviewed and reviewed, and everything doesn't work. You can never get it to fruition. And what Jed Ayers is going to show you with the data he has is that, in fact, his proposal is totally consistent with the balance and the town character, and that is the major objective of the local coastal plan. I've quoted at pages 2 to 3 the kind of critical objectives here of the town plan. The controlling goal shall be the preservation of the town's character. And this character depends upon a balance and so on. But the next sentence says, the preservation of the town's character shall be achieved while allowing orderly growth. Now, how do you allow orderly growth if you won't amend the tables to accurately reflect the balance that is supposed to be preserved in the character? So, to repeat, it is my opinion that approval of this project, and that means approval of the project for the 4 additional units, as well as approving an amendment of the table right here and right now, can be done without more, and that the staff is incorrect in its conclusion that this is premature, and that indeed that would be inconsistent with the objective to allow orderly growth, and more importantly, and I kind of like the argument Steve Gomes made last time, that you guys have better sense than most people that address questions. After all, you have the responsibility for running the county. And I was taken with the argument in the Mendocino Beacon article that we quote from on pages 5 and 6 in our letter. And that is, it's basically an argument that says, come on, guys, how are we going to make the county function economically if we can't get anything done? They refer to the coast as the golden goose that lays the golden eggs for this county, and there's certainly a lot to that. And if we don't have a coast that allows some developments, that allows, don't you like these young guys coming in and investing their time and money buying some property? They grew up here and they want to make it work and they invest their livelihood and their life into trying to make it work. We got to make that happen. You can't say, well, you got to wait another 10 or 12 years till the stars align before we can get just exactly the right group in to amend this thing. So my opinion is that you can approve her project now. You can right today amend this table, and even without amending it, because the facts are there, you can approve the increase in the units, and that's what we're asking you to do. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but I assure you that Jed's presentation is better than mine, and that's all I wanted to say. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Only if Jed's presentation is as humorous as yours, Mr. Carter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. All right, well, I'll try to be as brief as possible. The history, I think, is well described actually by staff on pages 2 and 3 of the report. The one thing I would point out is that this project has been sort of the lone catalyst for having the discussion about updating the town plan. If you go back and look at why the 1999 Citizen Advisory Committee was formed, it was as a result of this project. And I think again in 2005, why are we looking at the data again? It was because we presented a mountain of data that refuted staff's opinion that nothing had changed, and that prompted you to quote, get your house in order, as Colfax put it. And if you turn to tab 1 of the sheet, there's some kind of revealing minutes that were taken at that last meeting that we were before you, where you asked us to resubmit in 6 months. Well, again, we've waited 3 years for you to get your house in order. And we were delighted when you had some money to fund this young lady who took on validating the data that we had put together. And as Jared pointed out, I think we finally reached a point today, 3 years later, where we've refuted some of the legal arguments here. Staff has validated the data within a reasonable margin of error. I don't think we're ever going to have perfect data. If you go back to '89 when this stuff was collected, there's different ways of looking at it, but we've shown, and I will show you their charts, that there's a trend. There's an underlying trend that's consistent with the town plan and the tenet of balance, and we're going to share that with you. And I think staff is actually really crying out for your leadership to vote on this, so that the people behind us that want to get their other rooms approved have a basis to do this. So I think the important thing is this is the chart directly out of the 2008 review that was completed, and I think it's important if you look at this. You have the 350 residential units, and this top column is key to the balance, the theme of balance here. Depending on how you counted the residential units in 1989 that ended up in the certified plan in '92, you either had 306 or you had 350 residential units. Depending on which data you look at, we had an orderly growth and unequivocal building of new residential units, either 23 or 49, depending on whose data you're looking at. And that gives you either 7% or 14%, or if you actually look